and welcome to a new card here at justonemorecard.com. Today I'm going to use some new stamp sets that I've recently got from the Make the Day special stamp store in the UK. It's the Neat and Tangled Winter Trees, and I just love this trio of trees. It's absolutely gorgeous. I prepared a bit and cut a card base. It's a regular A2 sized card base, and then I used my smaller frame from the Frames by Mama Elephant to cut this panel. This is Simon's Stamp Ultra Heavy White cardstock, and then I stamped the trees onto masking paper and just, cut a little scene. Like I elongated the hill a bit, and you'll see in a minute why. Just want to show you, I went in with my very fine, like tweezer-like scissors to cut out the little pieces here, because I actually need the ink I will use distress ink on this to go between the trees. So I'm putting this down, and as you can see, it's not going to cover the entire bottom, and also leave an open spot to the left, but that doesn't matter because I want the trees to be centered on this card, and I can show you how you can fix this quite easily. So there's no reason to worry about this. I'm just gonna grab some post-it notes. I have a huge stash of post-it notes that I bought cheap. I usually can get like a pack of 500 for like €1 or something in the dollar store, in the Euro store I should say. So I have a lot of them, and as you can see, I just masked this off and it works just fine. Before I continue, I'm gonna grab my Ranger craft sheet, because you can wipe that off quite easily, whereas the mat that I have underneath here, the gray one, you can't really wipe that off quite as well. So I'm just putting this on my craft sheet, and it's going to be held down by the masking tape. And I'm using a little sponge dauber here to add just the tiniest bit of ink around this end. I shouldn't have used the sponge dauber. As you can see, it doesn't give me the smoothest impression. If I wouldn't have been too lazy to cut another mask, I probably would have started over. I regret not having started over. But hey, what done is done. So I used two colors here, the purple and the blue, and blended them together. And right now it looks really hideous. But wait until we remove the mask, then it's slightly less hideous, I would say. Again, I'm not entirely happy with the card, how it turned out, even though I like the technique, and I will probably try this again. While I was peeling off the mask, I was like, why in the world did I not stamp this before I put down the mask? I honestly I can't explain this. I don't know. So, and as you see, I leave a little white border because I couldn't line it up quite correctly, and I had to fix this later on, and I was just like, oh, seriously, use your brains the next time. It was late, that's my apology. I'm using my teal colors here from, well, the blue-greens, if you want to be specific, from Copics, and just adding my colors here. I always color from dark to light, because I just find it gives me better blending. And I'm not too worried about having perfect blending here, because if you look at trees, they have structure, you see twigs, and you see different types of greens or blues on a tree. So I don't mind at all that you don't get perfect blending here, because I think it adds to the interest of the trees. A tree is not a solid, perfectly blended thing that you would see in nature. It would always have some structure. And I feel that that's why it's completely okay to have the structure here as well. I like to think it gives the trees character. There you go. And I absolutely love these colors. So this color combination is one of my absolute favorites of all times. And then I'm using the warm grays for the trunks, and again putting down the darkest warm gray, the W9 first, and then I'm going back and forth between the W6 and W4 to smooth the trunk out. And I'm having my light basically coming from the front right. Now I'm using my Versamark pen, and this is basically Versamark ink coming out of a pen. And what I want to do is I want to give the trees some snow, but I don't want to cover the entire tree in snow. That's why I can't stamp it. As you might see, the snow is not where it would be in nature. In nature it would be further down, but I didn't want to cover up all the nice structure I had put down there. So that's why I'm being a little bit creative here. And I'm just putting down the ink literally with a pen, and then putting white embossing powder on top of it so I can create my own snow-covered trees. And as you can see, I also added some stars in the background. I've already heat set this, and now I've prepared the hill on which the trees are standing with my embossing buddy there. And I inked up my sentiment, and the reason why I'm prepared it with my embossing buddy is because I'm using black twinkle embossing powder by Wow. I love this embossing powder, but it's black, and that means that some of the black is probably going to stick to your card base. And with the embossing buddy, or whichever tool you prefer, you can help reduce the amount of black embossing powder sticking where it's not supposed to go. I find that the black is particularly difficult because you always have like a little dusting of black. Now I'm using this other Neat and Tangled stamp set. I have all the supplies listed below in the video description, and my Hero Arts Red Royal ink to add this little heart to the card, you know, to have like a little warm accent there. And this is already the finished card for today. As you can see, I'm not entirely happy with the coloring, and I should do this again because it's not perfect, but at least the sentiment is nice and sparkly and hopefully will distract from the rest of the card. It's a piece of art, what should I say? I hope you enjoyed the card and you subscribe and give me a thumbs up. Thanks so much for watching.